How's it hanging, people? I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of October 6th, 2014. I hope you guys are enjoying watching the World Championships. RIP in peace, NA. One day. Anyway, this week's featured champions include Rammus, Tristana, Azir, Talon, Kha'Zix, and Nidalee. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the champions on the increased pick rates are Ahri, Rammus, Corki, Ryze, and Katarina. Nothing has changed about Rammus, but that's totally a good thing. Or a bad thing if you're against him. Rammus' win rate is over 57%, which, if you're keeping score at home, is the highest of any champion in the game at the moment. The Armadillo has been a winner for some time now, but it was exposure on the World Championship stage that made players stand up and take notice of just how strong he is. Rammus can gain up to 165% bonus movement speed from his Powerball, so nobody escapes what he's chasing. Plus, who doesn't like the table saw sound he makes? It's so adorable. He gains armor and magic resistance from his defensive ball curl, while also bringing reliable CC in the form of Puncturing Taunt. All of these things make him an excellent choice for ganking and tower diving, and you won't have to look too far to find Rammus on the Rift. New band name. Decreased pick rates this week list Nidalee, Tristana, Azir, Talon, and Kha'Zix. It might seem weird that Tristana is being picked less. Isn't she supposed to be a popular champion? Well, just like the latest fad in school, Tristana's become a little too popular. She's the most banned champion in the entire game, so players have a hard time being able to play her. Yet the cooldown on Buster Shot increased in the last patch, but most players agree that she is still too good to let the enemy team have. Tristana gains range from her passive and attack speed from her rapid fire as she levels up, so she's a strong late game champion. She's also safe from enemies because of the long range on her rocket jump and the knockback on Buster Shot. Unless she's banned out entirely from your game, pretty much guaranteed you'll see her around for weeks to come. Champions on the increased win rates this week are Cassiopeia, Urgot, Azir, Kennen, and Skarner. The league's newest addition, Azir, still has a pretty low win rate, but he's made some real progress in the last week. Now that the novelty of playing the latest champion has worn off, the serious Azir players are beginning to make progress. He has a complicated kit that takes time to learn, so let's give you a rundown. Like Yasuo, Azir has two passives. Will of the Emperor converts cooldown reduction into attack speed, while Disc of the Sun lets him conjure a turret at the base of a previously destroyed one. Conquering Sands charges sand soldiers forward towards a target location, slowing hit targets, while Arise lets him summon said sand soldiers. So many S-words. Holy Shifting Sands dashes Azir towards one of his sand soldiers, and his ultimate, Emperor's Divide, creates and pushes a wall of soldiers forward. The wall from Emperor's Divide knocks back enemies and cannot be crossed by dashes. Like any new champion, we'll see shifting win rates and some balancing from Riot. Look for Azir and his sand soldiers in solo queue. Decreased win rates this week are Nidalee, Talon, Nunu, Aatrox, and Elise. Talon traded the silence on Cutthroat last patch for a slow. His win rate since the change has dropped significantly and now sits at just around 50%. Talon's job as an assassin is now much harder without a silence. Potential targets can now flash away or fight back immediately instead of waiting while Talon executes his abilities along with his foe. However, players still need to respect Talon's blades. He has some of the highest attack damage ratios in the game, and so when he gets some items, he brings substantial burst to the table. His ultimate, Shadow Assault, grants him stealth and bonus movement speed for sneaking up on enemies or running away from the act. And pink wards are totally your friend if Talon is not. And as with any other assassin in the current meta, we'll still see him on the field of justice for quite some time. On the increased bans list this week are Lucian, Zed, Kha'Zix, Zilean, and Rammus. Kha'Zix is a constant presence at the World Championships and on this show, and players seem to have had enough of the bug. He has risen to be the third most banned champion, and this marks the 6th consecutive week he's been on the increased bans list. The Void Reaver brings a lot to the table, which is why most players try and avoid him. Kha'Zix's ability, Void Spike, is the primary source of his power. Once evolved, it deals damage in a large AoE at range and slows down enemies. This allows Kha'Zix to farm the jungle, clear waves, and poke his enemy with safety. The slow especially makes it difficult to catch or run away from him. Unlike many junglers, Kha'Zix can often get away with building mostly damaged items and then a guardian angel. His assassin kit allows him to succeed as a carry where other junglers fail. Because of this, while he's increasing in his ban rate, he is still incredibly viable in the current meta, so look for him both at Worlds and in solo queue. Finally, the decreased ban list this week featured Nidalee, Talon, Maokai, Braum, and Azir. Nidalee has completely dropped off the ban list for many players. She recently received nerfs to her base attack damage, attack speed, and takedown damage. Because of this, a lot of players have figured out that she's just no longer worth a ban. That said, Nidalee still does everything she used to do, just with a little less death. She is a shape-shifting, ranged, and melee champion with strong auto attacks, healing, and lots of mobility in the form of her pounce ability. She's a slippery split pusher when ahead, and excels at chasing targets down in duels. Players who enjoy playing Nidalee can now actually pick her, so expect to see more of these strengths on display. And make sure you watch those spears. Riot has talked about encouraging Nidalee players to build more AP, which makes her javelin toss hit harder than you may be used to. Gee, Riot, thanks. Thanks for helping. And that does it for this week's episode. Please be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure to like and comment below, especially if you like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to LolKing's YouTube channel before you go. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitch at Lindsay Geektron. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see everyone next week.